Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Today we're going to show you how to use the Nikon FM2n, okay? So it says FM2n, but on the back you can see the N here. There's a few things that are different, not that I know exactly, but we're going to show you how to use it. We have a 50mm 1.4, and this camera basically mounts AI ready lenses. It's the Nikon Bayonet F, so a Nikon F mount, but the AI lenses. You have to make sure that they are like that. First thing to do, you see, to take off the lens cap, I press the button for the release lens, take off the lens cap, and now we have the lens cap here. Also remove it, and you have the dot here, this little black dot, aligned with that black dot. So we put them together, and this is basically the metering, which it has here. So we just have to put them together, turn it all the way till we hear click. Now the lens is mounted. Okay, so let's go through the front of the features of this camera. This is a PC port. Basically, if we unscrew this thing here, PC port for flash. Basically, don't want to lose that little cap, so make sure you screw it back on properly. The release lens you've seen, so basically push and then pull clockwise to unmount and put it back on, as you hear there. Then we have the depth of field. So if we had the lens, let's say at f5.6, and we press this little lever, you'll see how the lens, you can see it there just barely. Lens is stopping down, so you can preview lever, self timer, strap lugs, and not much else. This camera uses batteries, but only for the light meter. It's a fully manual camera. That's the M, Nikon F manual camera. And it uses a battery, which are two LR44s with the plus sign looking into the body, but it says it on the cap. I can remove them, but you can see it also has for the motor. So these are the electrical contacts, tripod socket, and the connection with the motor here. This for the rewind button that's over here. And on the back, we have the film reminder, so you can put your little film reminder, be it Kodak Gold or whatever you're putting in your camera. They have the viewfinder here with a rubber little protection for glasses, hot shoe, and on the top, as you can see, we have the prism. We have the rewind, which you open this way and then you spin. Basically, to open the door, you have to pull this up basically a little bit, but to pull it up, you have to push this little sign backwards, and then now you see it lets you push it up. And when we do that, now we can spring load it, as you can see, open all the way. This is where the film goes, and so on. Then this is for turning on the camera. Basically, you just let go of the advanced lever all the way there. Now the light meter should show, and it shows on the right center corner. Has like a plus minus symbols that give you exposure. And to change the ISO, we lift this little crown. I don't know if you can see that, but it does lift. And we lift it and change it to whatever ISO we want for the light meter. Do remember, this camera will work without batteries, so the ISO wouldn't be important if you're just metering with your hand or doing Sunny 16. Then once we take a shot, which is here, we advance. And we have to advance all the way. If I take a shot and I go halfway, it doesn't let me do a little bit more like Leica. So you have to go all the way to the end and then back. If you want to turn it off, there it is, it's turned off. If you want to do multiple exposures, let's say we want to take a multiple exposure, take a picture, you don't advance directly. You have this little lever on the side, which you pull towards you, and then you advance. And you might not be noticing, but basically you feel how the mirror is going up, but not the advancement. So same thing, I take a second picture in my multiple exposure, I want to do another one, I pull again, and that lets me do multiple exposures. That's the camera being off. Let's put it back on. Tripod, basically cable release here, so you can screw a cable release so you can shoot with cable for long exposures. And this is to change the values. So as you can see, there's a little dot there that basically shows you from bulb all the way to 4000 mechanical, which is pretty amazing. Then let's say we wanted to use flash. Maximum speed for flash sync is 250. You can go there downwards. If you go upwards, you're going to get uneven flash exposure, which is quite common for newbies. And basically bulb, which is if I want to take a picture and then count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever seconds we want. And when I release, it advances, basically comes back up. that lets us take pictures for long exposures. You can actually see it here if we take a picture. Wait, sorry, we have to turn it on. Take a picture. Let's say we were counting 1, 2, 3, 4, boom, we're done. For focusing on the camera, all we have to do is just move the front ring. It has one of those split images, which is fairly easy to understand the first time. Minimum focus on this lens is 0.45 centimeters or 1.5 feet. This is obviously going to change depending on the lens. The aperture changes by this basically aperture ring we have here. The lens is 1.4, so that's wide open, and it closes down to f16, sorry. You do have a little peephole. It is actually just on top, which you can't see now, but it usually lets you see the aperture, and you see how there's a second aperture scale here that's really tiny. That's what you see through the peephole here. It's kind of an easy way to see what you have on your lens, and you can choose. You have depth of field here, basically, and it has different color markings, which with age have deteriorated. So F16 is the exterior, blue, F11 is yellow, which is the next one, F8 is the next one, which is red, 5.6 is white, F4 is green, that's there. So how does hyperfocal work? It's super simple. Basically, if I was shooting something at 3 meters or 2 meters, let's say, and I'm at F16, it goes from this little blue line to this blue line. So everything from 2 meters to 10 meters or 7 feet to 30 feet should be an acceptable focus. That's hyperfocal. Then we have our strap lugs here on the sides. And yeah, that's all you need to know for the lens. You can use filters. And then to load the film, we're going to show you quickly. Just basically, you have to push this up. Like I said, this down, up. This is where the film basically plane is. So if you're doing macro work and you're measuring, that's where you would go, but that's for advanced basically. We open the back, and it's very simple. All you have to do is grab your roll of film. In this case, we have some HP5, and it's not DX coded, so it's not reading the DX code. You have to do that by hand. And you basically can drop the film canister in here. And as you can see, this is all the way out, so we can just push it down. And now this has to advance until we have the slots here. So we open the camera, we can take a quick shot, and you see there's a little cut there. We can put our film in there. And this is much easier to do when you're not shooting a video. So bear in mind with me if I'm being a little slow. So basically you start advancing, you see how it's coming around. Basically now we are pretty much sure. If you want to make sure at the beginning first, always take a second shot and keep on going. Now you see that's there. Close this, and you don't want your film to be bulged, so you want it to be pretty flat. We can close this now. Now we can advance all the way. You want to take a couple of shots, and you can see your frame counter, which is here, has basically reset to S, which I'm guessing always is just empty. So you put it at 400, which is this red color, and now we can basically shoot, advance, and we do that till we get to number 1. So shoot, advance, and get number 1. So now we would shoot our roll normally using our light meter for help and so on. And when we get to the end of the roll, we should be at 36 exposures, 37, maybe 38, 39 if you're really good with a long roll. And when you want to rewind, all you have to do is press that button on the bottom and lift this and just rewind. So we're going to do that like if we had finished the roll. Press it, and now we rewind till we would end up feeling like the film is finished and is actually going into the film canister. We will hear a clack there. And now I'll go just a little bit more, but you could keep on going to put it all the way in, but this roll is new. And to open it, like I said, pull it up, and now we go spring open, and then we have a roll that we could keep with our leader out, or in this case I can reuse or send it to a lab. So basically, when you finish your roll, don't open your back immediately. You want to rewind it all the way and take it to a lab. So yeah, there's not much else to this FM2. It's a great camera. It's a manual camera, so you don't, or mechanical camera, so you don't need batteries to operate, which is really nice. That 1/4000 shutter speed maximum lets you shoot wide open, even with almost the sunny of conditions. So that's really, really nice. Has interchangeable focusing screens, tripod mount, you possibility of putting a motor, which is something that maybe some people want to have a couple shots per second. Flash sync up to 2/50th of a second. Yeah, a great camera. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. But I hope this was helpful. Just a quick, overall specs of the camera and show you how to operate it if you're new to it. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.